Okay, so time for a new video. If you're watching this on Facebook or on my YouTube channel, thank you very much for checking it out. Also, if you're watching on YouTube, there is a link in the description to my blog where you can read my thoughts on this year's Eurovision Song Contest, among other bits and pieces I do. If you watched my last video on my channel, then you will have seen me react last night, less than 24 hours ago, to the results of the first semi-final of this year's Eurovision Song Contest. And in this video I'm going to be very briefly giving my thoughts on last night's show. I'm then going to talk about tomorrow night's second semi-final and my predictions for that show. Please feel free to leave your comments down below. I'll be interested to see if you agree with me or not. As always, please respect my opinions and I'll respect yours. There's no real point waffling about the hosts. They did an alright job. There's no point really talking about the stage. That looked fantastic. I do think some countries are suffering a bit without an LED screen. There's no point really talking about the UK commentary, which I just try not to listen to. It would help if we had commentators who could pronounce the artists' names at least a little bit correctly. Real difficulty with the Estonian lady last night. But anyway, enough about that. I'm going to go through the songs. So yeah, I'm looking at my blog here, and obviously blog posts do take quite a while to type up, so I might be a bit slow this week getting all the blog posts up on time, but do feel free to take a look if you so wish. Song 1, Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan, for the first time, have not qualified for the final. Given that they debuted in 2008, they had a good run. This song, good, vocally fine. I think it needed to be a bit more colourful, because it's such a big pop song. The staging was alright, not too sure about the all-white attire. The bookmakers didn't think this would qualify. I had a feeling I predicted it to go through in 10th place. I think it missed out by a very small margin. So yeah, a Eurovision first already has occurred, and I've only started on we're only on song 1. Song 2, Iceland. I predicted this to finish last. I'd be surprised if it didn't finish last. Alright performer. The song's not that bad, it's just really dull. And you can't just have a good voice, I'm afraid. I think this was the problem with a few other countries this year in the first semi-final. It's alright having a good singer, but you've got to have the whole performance looking really good as well. And, you know, visually, it's got to be spot on. Song 3, that's 4 years in a row, no final for Iceland now. There's only one thing for it. Get Sigur Rós. Or Björk. You know, I'm sure she's available. Song 3, Albania. This is in the final. I predicted it to finish 17th. I was well off. I'm very happy to be proved wrong. This song has a rock vibe. It's in Albanian. What a voice Eugen Bushpepper has. His voice alone, I think, got him into the final. I wonder how much the juries liked it. Maybe they really helped. Staging's a bit static. So, in this instance, his voice was so good, I think it got him through. It wasn't the case with Croatia. I think Croatia's song, A, wasn't as strong as the Albanian entry, and didn't have enough about the performance to really help it. But more on that in a minute. Man, I'm already waffling. This is not good. Song 4, Belgium. I can't believe it. I thought this song was too good to miss out. My favourite entry of the year is gone, and it's the first time since 2010 that my favourite entry of the year has not made the final. The staging could have been better, but I'm not sure how it could have been better. Vocally, she was great. Not too sure about the arm movements. That didn't look fantastic. I think she was trying too hard to be sexy at certain points. I mean, she's a very good-looking woman, but I'm not sure that whole element of the performance was needed. It was very dramatic, but the attention wasn't there. People went off this song, and it's a real shame. It would have been 4 years in a row finishing in the top 10, and now they are out of the final. Back to the drawing board next year. I predicted it to finish 4th. Song 5, Czech Republic. I predicted this to finish 7th. The Czechs are in the final for the second time ever. I'm not surprised. This is a very slick, number. Would the UK ever send a song like this? No. Would the UK even dream of sending a song like this? Nope. Watch and learn, BBC. Watch and learn. This was a good performance. For a man that injured his back last week, I thought that he moved quite well. Apparently he will do the backflip on Saturday night. Yeah, it's a good song. Interesting lyrics. You could argue it's not massively original, but it stands out. It's fun. It's a good pop song. Can't complain. Song 6, Lithuania. Lithuania, at the moment I'm recording this, is now one of the favourites to win. I predicted this to finish 11th. I thought that it would just miss out because I think I thought a lot of the public would find it boring. Maybe they did. Maybe the jury helped it. Really nice performance. Simplicity can get you far in this contest. Portugal won last year. Why can't Lithuania? Why not? Really, really sweet. Her husband was on stage with her. She was clearly quite emotional. Not too sure about the projection stuff. But otherwise, a very fine performance indeed. Very happy Lithuania made it. Song 7, Israel. I predicted this to win the semi-final. It probably did. I'm not a huge fan of this song, but it really was a very good performance. It's so in your face, it's vibrant, it's so out there and different. And it's been quite a while since a song like this even remotely pushed very hard for a Eurovision win. So, yeah, it really could win. It's a serious contender. Vocals were fine. Staging's alright. I feel it could be even more energetic. But yeah, it was pretty good. Moving on to a song that I really don't like very much. I predicted it to finish 16th. It's Belarus. No offence to anybody who likes this song, but it was one of the most boring performances I have ever seen at the Eurovision Song Contest. There was this whole thing with roses. Okay. They were growing out of his back. Okay. But the song was just so dull. I'm sorry, it really was. It had no chance. Moving on to song 9, Well, Well, Well. I predicted this to finish second, Estonia. Every single thing about this performance was working. Vocally sublime. The dress, fantastic. She connected with the audience. Really good camera work. Not to everybody's taste, because it is classical. But this was absolute quality from start to finish. Estonia will take some beating on Saturday night. Song 10, Bulgaria. I predicted this to finish third. I don't think this is a winner. I'm not seeing enough people talk about it. The performance was a little underwhelming. The lead woman with the white hair, I think she overshadowed the other members. It's quite a dark, ominous song. I think that came through quite well. But I don't really remember too much about the performance. I think there should have been something else to really grab my attention. Our attention. It didn't happen. But it's in the final, and remember, Bulgaria has never finished outside the top 10 in a Eurovision final. Song 11, Macedonia. A real shame. I predicted this to finish 18th. The staging let it down. It was just a bit messy. Not too sure about the outfits. Vocals could have been a bit stronger. Camera work could have been a bit stronger. Even the choreography felt a little off. Reggae meets pop. The verses not that brilliant. The chorus pretty good. But that oomph, nowhere to be found, I'm afraid. Not a qualifier. Song 12, Croatia. Predicted this to finish 15th. Good voice, nothing else. Don't need to say anything more about it. Good voice, but nothing else really made any sort of impact. Not a qualifier. Song 13, Austria. Predicted this to finish 8th. A pretty safe qualifier, I think. Cesar, yeah, good singer. Song has got a gospel tinge to it. Pretty good, pretty fresh. He's performing on this elevated platform. Okay. Don't really need that, but alright. This is a fine song, but again, I didn't find it that exciting a performance. Sorry to say it, but that's the truth. Then we have Greece, song 14, in Greek. 2 thumbs up. I predicted this to finish 9th. I did see fans online say that this was in trouble. I saw articles on websites saying this was in trouble. I saw interviews with members of the press in Lisbon saying this was in trouble. And so it is that Greece haven't qualified 2 times in 3 years now. And Greece used to be powerhouses in this competition. There's only one thing for it. Call Sakis Rouvas. Or Helena Paparizou. Get her back. I'm sure she'd be willing to do it. It's an alright song. But again, like with Croatia, nothing stood out. Nothing stood out. Song 15, Finland. There's one real problem with this performance. For the first minute, she has her back turned to the audience. For me, that's a big no-no. Vocally, great. She's obviously very passionate about this. She's wanted to do Eurovision for so long. Finland back in the final after a few years away, so that's good. It's a good, strong, modern pop song. Get rid of the structure on stage. I'm not sure that's needed. I still think it's a bit over the top. I think people have gone off this a bit. So I think Finland might not do very well in the grand final. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. We'll see. I predicted this to finish 7th. Then we have Armenia. Yet again. Good voice, but nothing else. There was a smoke machine. I honestly think his national final performance was better. I predicted this to finish 12th. And Armenia, they don't often miss the final, but they have this year. And, yeah, nothing else to say about it. It was over in a flash. Then we have Switzerland. This is unfortunate. Real shame. The song has such swagger to it. It's a very confident, striding sort of beat. It's a really good song. But Switzerland are just really unlucky every year. I predicted this to finish 14th. Corinne. I think I've spelled her name wrong on my blog post. Corinne? Yeah, she looked superb, by the way. And there was this whole thing with a flare. It was all round very good. Just in the first semi-final, and such a tough set of songs, difficult to qualify, and this missed out. Real shame. Then we have Ireland. As soon as this was over, I knew it was going to qualify. That whole gay love story, that alone, I bet, gained Ireland a lot of points. The problem for me here is that the emphasis is on the dancers and not so much on Ryan, who's actually singing it. It's a good song, it's a beautiful ditty, and I think it's always been quite underrated. I predicted this to finish 14th. I do have a feeling the juries really loved it. It will be interesting to see what Russia make of it. In fact, I was reading just a short time ago that China didn't broadcast this performance. They didn't broadcast Albania for some reason as well, I think. But China didn't broadcast this Irish entry, so I wonder if Russia will. They'll be in trouble if not. Russia shouldn't even be in the final, just saying. I will be previewing semi-final 2 in a moment. But yeah, really nice from Ireland. Deserves to be in the final, I think. It was a really simple, nice performance. And then we have Cyprus. At this moment in time, it is vying it out with Norway as the favourite to win. Do I think Cyprus will win? No. But I'd be happy if they did. Eleni Foureira, very sexy. This was, again, a slick performance. The choreography. The problem, again, for me, is how original is this? Because we've seen Jennifer Lopez do this for years. We've seen Beyonce do this for years. Is that a bad thing? No, because those artists are popular. So if it comes into Eurovision, sort of, it should do well, should it not? Yeah, good performance. Maybe not quite as amazing as people are saying it is, but pretty good all round. And Cyprus I predicted to finish 5th. So there we have it. The real shame is Belgium, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Moving on to, actually, I don't need that. Semi-final 2, my preview. Again, I'll try to be brief. Song 1 is Norway. That's how you write a song. Alexander Rybak. Rybak is back. And Norway have won 3 times before. This is a rather childish song. The lyrics aren't fabulous, but he really sells it. He's got charisma, he's got huge amounts of experience, he knows how to win this contest. Mark my words, Norway can win this year. His name alone will get votes. I have predicted this to finish in 4th place. Second, Romania, Goodbye, The Humans, massive national final. This was the winner. Bit disappointing. There are mannequins on stage. Okay, I think they're in the music video as well, but I don't think you need them. Vocally and visually, it's better than the national final anyway. Romania, like Azerbaijan, until last night, never not qualified from the semi-finals. I've predicted it to finish 13th. It's dated rock. I don't think it's strong enough. Song 3, Serbia, Nova Deka, New Children, performed by Sanja Ilic and Balkanika. Quite traditional. It's not a bad performance. It's just quite forgettable. I've predicted it to finish in 14th place. Serbia might benefit from a bit of neighbourly voting. Song 4, San Marino. If this qualifies, it's a joke. Who We Are, Jessica, who's Maltese, featuring Jennifer Brenning, who's German. There's a bit of rap, because that really goes well at Eurovision. There are robots on stage, for no apparent reason. One of them is saying justice for Valentina. Well, you know, it's just not a very good song. It's not the song San Marino should have sent. I predicted it to finish last. Of course, last year San Marino got 1 point. This year, will they do any better? I don't think so. Song 5 is Denmark. Really good song. Powerful, Viking. Fantastic. Higher Ground by Rasmussen. It's really good. You know, it packs a punch. And I've predicted this to finish in 6th place. It's a bit of a dark horse, but I was a little disappointed with the rehearsals because I think he sounded better in Dansk Melodi Grand Prix myself. Anyway, Song 6, Russia. Okay. This song should be nowhere near qualifying. If it qualifies, it's really disappointing because it shows that Russia can get away with sending anything and they'll just get into the final. Bear in mind, in 2012, the Russian Granids finished 2nd. An absolute joke. I've got nothing against Julia Samoylova. I've got nothing against the song, really, I Won't Break. But they are trying to hide her disability. I think that's wrong. She's on this mountain thing. Vocally, dreadful. I'm not a professional musician, but even I can tell that this sounds really bad. I don't think Julia is singing in the chorus. Her backing vocalists sound a bit off. This is so poor. To go from Sergei Lazarev to this is such a downgrade. If this qualifies, shame on voters. Shame on the juries. Shame on the public. This song shouldn't be in the final at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. Means it will probably finish in the top 10. Anyway, Song 7, Moldova. For some reason, this is now like the dark horse of the year, considering that most people didn't like it at first. Now there's all this love. It's My Lucky Day by Doridos. There's this screen on stage which opens up and there's some nice choreography. It looks quite good. It's elevating what is a bit of a naff song, in all honesty. Moldova finished 3rd last year, of course. I've predicted Moldova to finish in 9th place. Moldova's never won. Russia has once, Denmark 3 times, San Marino never, Serbia once, Romania never. I have predicted Russia to finish in 15th place. Wishful thinking. But yeah, Moldova, I think this will qualify now because the public are getting behind it. Song 8, The Netherlands. Waylon is back. He was part of the Common Linnets in 2014, which finished 2nd for the Netherlands. This is Outlaw Inham. It's country rock. The staging is a bit problematic. I'm not too sure about the dancing. I know some people are actually offended by the dancing. Why on earth have you got dancers in the first place? Vocally, he's great. The song is good. It will be underrated, I'm sure. I've predicted the Netherlands to finish 7th, which I think is about right. Song 9, Australia. The juries will love this. It's Jessica Mauboy, who was part of the interval act for the 2nd semi in 2014. She's a big star in Australia. This is We Got Love. I don't like her dress. She's on stage with this very simple light up structure. Doesn't add anything to the performance. Vocally she's good, but everything's not quite working at the moment. I predicted Australia to finish second, just because I think the juries will really love it. Song 10 is Georgia. It's in Georgian despite the English title. For You by Iriau. Very Croatia 2013. That didn't qualify. I don't think this will. There's red lighting, nice harmonies, but it doesn't stand out. Song 11 is Poland. This will qualify, I think, with relative ease. Very contemporary, albeit not massively original, in the vein of Calvin Harris and Avicii. Light Me Up by Gromi featuring Lukas Meyer. Lukas is Swedish, so some points will go from Sweden to Poland, I'm sure. There's a bit of awkward dancing behind the podium. Gromi's doing that. But yeah, it's a fine song. Not massively original. I predicted Poland to finish 8th. Then we have Malta. Taboo by Christabel. There's this light up box on stage and a dancer. Christabel looks good and sounds good. This could be a qualifier, why not? Malta's never won, Poland never has, Georgia never has, Australia never have, Netherlands 4 times is it? By the way, I keep forgetting to mention that. I predicted Malta to finish 10th. I think this might just sneak in. It's quite an underrated song. Thomas Gierson wrote it, and he has Eurovision experience. So then we have Hungary. This is the metal song of the year. Vizslat Nyár, Goodbye Summer by AWS. This has its fans. The rehearsal was disappointing because I think they've tried to mellow it a little bit. The lead singer's vocals don't sound quite as harsh. The backing vocals have been turned up a notch. The energy is there. The pyros are there. It's all round pretty solid. But maybe it's too aggressive for some people. I think it will qualify in 5th place. Hungary's never won. Then we have Latvia. They've won once. Laura Risotto, Brazilian born. The song's called Funny Girl. This is 50 Shades of Grey. No other way to describe it. It sounds like it was on the soundtrack to one of those movies. I predicted this to finish 11th. It's sultry. And that's about it. Doesn't stand out much. Then we have Sweden going for that 7th win. Benjamin Ingrosso, Dance You Off. You take away that light up platform he's on, this song wouldn't do as well. Fact, I'm sure of it. Melfest was a bit of a disappointment this year. I've never been a huge fan of Dance You Off, but he really sells it. You know, he's good looking, charismatic. People will vote for him in their thousands. This will win the second semi-final as far as I'm concerned. But remember, last year, Robin finished 9th, was it, in the public vote? So maybe people are going off Sweden just a little bit. They always have something about their staging to elevate the performance. You know, last year, treadmills. Loreen had the platform and the fake snow. Sanna Nielsen had a disco ball. Robin Schoenberg had this little podium thing as well. Erik Saade had the glass box. Måns Zelmerlöw had the interactive screen. Franz had a light-up screen. There's always something that Sweden bring that's a bit different. And they've done it again this year. This will be in the top 10 in the final, I'm sure. Montenegro, song 16, Inya, which means Frost, by Vanja Radovanovic. It's a Balkan ballad. It's alright. Good voice. That's all there is to it. I don't see this qualifying. I predicted it to finish in 16th place. Slovenia, Lea Sirk, Fala Ne. Slovenia's never won, neither's Montenegro. It translates as thanks, but no. Very sassy. The refrain is weak, if you ask me, but the song as a whole isn't bad. It's quite modern. I think she performs it very well, vocally pretty good, some nice choreography. I predicted it to finish in 12th place, but I have a feeling the juries really won't like it. Then we have Ukraine. This has a lot of fans. Melovin, Under the Ladder. He's quite an interesting looking guy. I think one of his eyes, some sort of contact lens thing going on. I predicted this to finish 3rd. He plays the piano. He's got a good voice, although I still can't really understand what he's singing. Lots of power in this one. It stands out. It's a good closing song. I don't think it will win. I think it will qualify and do pretty well in the final. I think his national final performance was better. again, the energy isn't quite there at the moment. Maybe it will be tomorrow. But there we are. Man, oh man, that was a lot of waffling. And look at this, the video's over 20 minutes long. Also last night we saw snippets of 3 of the automatic finalists perform: Portugal, Spain and the UK. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. Portugal looking and sounding absolutely fantastic. I really like that song. Spain, bit overrated. Remember that Spain don't usually do well in the public vote. I'm expecting more of the same this year, but I'd like to be proved wrong. It's a nice song. And the UK, yeah, bottom 5 beckons, I'm afraid. I wish the BBC Eurovision team would sort themselves out, because surely they watch Eurovision every year and think, that song by that country was pretty good. Why aren't we doing that? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway, I'm really sorry for waffling. My 10 qualifiers, what I think will happen tomorrow night: Sweden, Australia, Ukraine, Norway, Hungary, Denmark, Netherlands, Poland, Moldova and Malta. Last night I predicted 7 out of 10. Thank you for all of the views on that video. I'm very surprised. Maybe some of you were feeling the same way I was. I've just about recovered from Belgium not qualifying. And then my personal 10 qualifiers at this moment in time: Netherlands, Denmark, Australia, Norway, Poland, Hungary, Malta, Ukraine, Sweden and Slovenia. My least favourite is Montenegro. In real life, I think that Australia will win the jury vote, 5th with the public. I think Sweden will win the public vote, 2nd with the juries. I think San Marino will finish bottom in both cases. Lots of questions to be asked. Will Russia miss out? Surely. Will Romania miss out? Maybe. Will San Marino qualify? Doubtful. And will Australia be underrated by the public? Yeah, probably. Anyway, really sorry for this very long ramble. Thank you so much for the support on previous videos, and if you've watched this all the way through, thank you very much. I'll be reacting to tomorrow night's results. I'll also be doing a review of semi-final 2 on Friday, hopefully, all being well, and a preview of the grand final when we'll know the running order. And I wouldn't be surprised if the UK opens the final and Cyprus close it. For now though, thanks for watching.